Hi everybody, this is Ms. Brody with a lesson to you about writing from different perspectives. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is perspective? And I'd like you to raise your hand or perhaps give me a thumbs up if you know the answer. Well, I can't see your hands or your thumbs, but I'm hopeful that you know that perspective means the eyes through which a story is told. And that you remember that in the past, when we've been reading fiction, you know that fiction can be written in first person, which was when the narrator tells the story or narrates the story using words like I, me, and mine when they're talking about him or herself. And we see the story unfold through their eyes, and we feel what they're feeling. If you remember from the beginning of the year, the book Home of the Brave is written in first person, and we really see that story through Keck's eyes. We even had some conversations a few times about what if the story was written from a different character's point of view, such as his brother Ganwar. But the author chose to write it through Keck's eyes, and she chose to use the words I when writing it in first person so that we see what Keck is seeing and feeling. There's other perspectives, though. Sometimes you'll read fiction, and this is usually more often than first person, but it's written in third person, where the author will use the character's name and he, she, they, or them to tell the story. But even then, usually we know which character through whose eyes we're really seeing the story be told. That's kind of the main character, or the protagonist. For example, in fourth grade, when we listened to The Tiger Rising by Kate DiCamillo, it's written in third person. It's talking about Rob and Sistine, and they use words like he and she and they. But we are seeing the story mostly through Rob's eyes and his perspective. If you've ever read Harry Potter, you know that that book is also written in third person. You hear words like Harry. He doesn't say, I did this and I did that. That would be first person. But the author, J.K. Rowling, tells the story in third person about Harry, and we sort of see the story unfold mostly through Harry's perspective or point of view. Maybe you're wondering whether or not nonfiction has perspective, and that's a great question, but the answer is a little bit complicated. The answer is sort of yes and no. In our previous unit, when we studied argument and advocacy, we saw that sometimes there might be a person who would write a nonfiction article or a blog post or even an ad from their point of view. So you might recall reading a blog written by a 12-year-old that's talking about whether or not they feel like cell phones should be allowed in school. And their perspective and the way they write their blog is going to be very different than if the teacher was writing a blog post. If you read an article by a zookeeper about whether or not zoos are good or bad, they're going to have a very different perspective than an animal rights activist. Same with a dairy farmer writing about whether or not kids should drink chocolate milk, right? Their point of view might be very different than a dietitian. So perspective, or their point of view, can lean to one side or another. Does all nonfiction have a perspective? We're going to continue that idea. Again, and I had said that the answer is somewhat complicated. Sometimes writers of nonfiction try to stay neutral, meaning they really don't want the reader to think that they're taking a side. They try to present a balanced or a fair perspective. They explain the various points of view. You might have seen this last year when you read about the American Revolution. Some texts were better able than others to show both sides and explain how the British might feel or see things and how the American patriots might feel or see things. Again, that would be a balanced point of view or perspective. Is there perspective in Westward Expansion? Well, of course, any part of history is going to have different participants that might see the history through a different lens. And there's always, as they say, two sides or even more to the story. So can you think about some of the different perspectives from in a Westward Expansion book or article? Who might have a different perspective on the history of Westward Expansion? Think about that for a second. Well, if you thought about the Native Americans, then you're right. But there are lots of people that might have had a different perspective on what was going on. For example, a 12-year-old riding west with his or her family on the Oregon Trail, they might have had a different perspective than the parents. The child might have been a little bit more upset. Maybe they didn't want to leave home and they liked where they lived, but the parents are more concerned about a better life. You might even think that the oxen pulling the wagons have their own point of view. They might be thinking, oof, why are these people making me carry so much weight? This is hard, right? Lewis might have had a different perspective than Clark. Everyone sees things through their own lens. And that leads us to today's assignment. Today's a writing task, and I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. Your job today is going to be thinking about one of the many subtopics that you've studied in relation to westward expansion. So some of the examples of some of those subtopics include the Oregon Trail, Lewis and Clark's expedition, the Transcontinental Railroad, maybe the Gold Rush. There might be others that you've read about, but those are sort of four of the big ones that come to mind. You're going to choose one of these subtopics, and then you're going to think about how different people, or yes, even animals, may have had a different perspective on the events of the time. Your job over the next 2 days is going to be writing like a pretend journal from 2 different perspectives. You're going to pick the perspective of one person to write 3 journal entries on, hopefully today, and then tomorrow you'll pick another person to write a different perspective. And there's a Google Doc, which I'm going to pull up now, which is going to show you specifically what you're going to be doing. So again, this is called Writing from Different Perspectives. Before you get started though, Ms. Mack has recorded another chapter from the read aloud that she's been reading on the split history of westward expansion. And when you go to the Google Doc, when you click, it'll bring you right to Ms. Mack's read aloud on YouTube. I really want you to read this because now the book is it's called A Split History. Now she's moved on to the other perspective, the Native American perspective. So it'll give you a better sense before you do this writing task of what really was a different perspective. That doesn't mean you have to write from a Native American's point of view for one of your perspectives, but this way you're getting a sense. So again, the idea is step 1 is you're going to think of a subtopic related to westward expansion. And you really have to feel like you know enough about the subtopic so that you can write about it from 2 points of view. And again, here are some of those different subtopics. So first, you're thinking of the subtopic after you've listened to the read aloud. Then you're going to think about 2 different perspectives from which to write. And yes, they can be real people. Maybe you want to write from Lewis's perspective and then maybe Clark's perspective, or Lewis's perspective and Sacagawea's perspective. Or you can make up someone. Maybe if you were doing Lewis and Clark, maybe you make somebody up from the Corps of Discovery. Maybe there actually was a real dog that went on the trip. Maybe you want to write from the dog's point of view. You can choose 2 humans, or you can choose 1 human and 1 animal, but you can't write from the perspective of 2 animals. And then after you've thought of your 2 different perspectives, you're going to start writing from the perspective of your 2 people or characters. And in these diary entries, you want to make sure that you include problems that you, or as your character, are seeing or dealing with, descriptions of what life is like during that event, and thoughts or opinions that you might have, sort of as your character. And again, as a reminder, this is a writing activity and it should be fun and creative, but it's still being written about a specific time period. So the person reading these journal entries, namely your teacher, should really feel like they're learning about the time period and that you're including real accurate dates for that subtopic. You might need to go back and skim a quick article or a book to make sure that you have the right dates and time period. And on the Google Doc, you'll see an example of a real journal entry from a woman who was a 32-year-old who traveled on the Oregon Trail. I'm not going to read it to you now. You'll have time to do that when you start, but you'll see that there's 3 different journal entries as an example. And then if I was doing this as an assignment, I would have to pick a different person from the Oregon Trail to do a different perspective. What would be a different perspective someone might have? And again, maybe for fun, I'll write about from a dog's point of view, or maybe I'll write about from a Native American's point of view after I've listened to Miss Mack's read aloud. When it's your turn, right down here, your turn, you're going to write 2 different journal entries. I'm sorry, you're going to pick 2 different perspectives and write 3 different journal entries for each of those. So here you'll put the journal entry of, Johnny Jones for one of them, and you're going to tell what your subtopic, you're going to tell me what your subtopic is up here, whether you're writing about the Oregon Trail or maybe the Transcontinental Railroad or the Gold Rush, right? That's both journal entries should be about the same subtopic. I would think you'd want to spend one day writing about one person's perspective, and then since this is a 2-day activity, you can do the final perspective and your final 3 journal entries tomorrow, okay? Back to this. Let's see where I am right now. Okay, so back to it, even though I've just gone over this, I just want to give you another example. If this had been an assignment last year and I was writing about, let's say, the Boston Tea Party, which would have been a subtopic of the Revolutionary War, I might have chosen to write my journal entries from 2 different points of view. One might have been from the point of view of a patriot, someone who was going to be dumping tea, and my other perspective would be the point of view of a British redcoat who would have orders to keep the king from the king to keep the Americans in line. And maybe my 3 journal entries might be from the day before the Tea Party, and you see here I've included the dates that happened, the day of the Tea Party, and maybe I want to talk about what happened or how people felt after the Tea Party was over, so I choose a journal entry for after that, okay? So again, just as a little reminder, since I know some of us are struggling with the following of instructions, so you're seeing it and hearing it in a bunch of different places. After you listen to this video, you're going to open up the Google Doc and you're going to first listen to Ms. Mack's read aloud. It's about 12 minutes long, okay? She's going to be reviewing about perspective and helping you see the Native Americans' point of view, okay? And then once you've listened to her video, you're going to go back onto the Google Doc and you're going to have your time to get creative, right? Make sure your topic is one that you feel you know enough about and you're able to see the event from more than one point of view. If you don't feel ready, then you're going to have to do a little bit more reading, maybe some short articles from News ELA or ReadWorks. Make sure that you read the Google Doc closely to get more specific instructions, and then you can read those specific journal entries to help see what a journal really kind of sounds like. And again, final reminder is your journal entries must make the reader, that's your teacher, feel like they are really there and they're learning something about the time period. And finally, have fun. This is meant to be a creative writing assignment, and we're hopeful that you'll spend the next 2 days writing some really terrific journal entries from 2 different perspectives and really showing that you understand how, depending on whose eyes are seeing an event, the perspective and the way they feel can really change. Okay, have a great day. Get to work. Talk to you later.